checking out this video. Don't forget, like and subscribe.
What he's talking about.
All right, we got to talk about this Raw show here, which is the go-home for Saturday night's main event and pretty crazy weekend. We've got Dynamite and Collision on Wednesday and Thursday, and there's a TNA special on Friday, and then there's Saturday night's main event Saturday, Battleground Sunday, Double or Nothing Sunday,
UFC Saturday,
and
like
Raw
always.
Monday.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you were thinking of having a big Memorial Day weekend,
Well, you don't have to watch any
a
of
lot
them.
of wrestling to watch.
There's and I think when Special Super Juniors are still going on, which I've seen like very few matches in the Best of Super Juniors, but every match I've seen I've loved. I just think that tournament has been so much fun to watch. But but God damn, I got so many matches that people have told me I got to watch that I haven't. So yeah.
Well, Logan Paul came out for a promo, and he was talking about the match with Jey Uso on Saturday. Said he was going to beat him, obviously, become the new champion. So Gunther's music hits, and this crowd, by the way, was a hot crowd for this show. There were a couple of exceptions, but in general, I mean, they were very, very loud. And, big reactions for entrances, big reactions for big spots. They scream, "You tapped out," as Gunther came out. And he basically said, there are things I can learn from you, Logan. My social media could use some help. And as champion, you'd be great for business. But to you, this is a business. To me, it's very personal. Beating Jey is personal to me. And so if you take that title from him, I will be personally disrespected. And you can ask Pat McAfee what happens to non-wrestlers who disrespect me. He says, if you beat Jey and square off with me, I will eat you alive. And so he leaves. Logan asks why you're leaving. He actually called him a scaredy cat. And then Jey Uso snuck in and super kicked Logan, left him for dead. And that was followed up with later in the show as well. So that was the opening segment. Gunther gets the winner, the Raw after Money in the Bank.
Yeah, the Phoenix Raw. And then Seth will probably get the winner of that at SummerSlam. Or maybe Night of Champions. But probably, one of those two. I would think SummerSlam, though. SummerSlam, they need the big one. And Seth Rollins' challenge for that title is the big one.
So they actually did a short segment here to close off a story. They showed footage from last week. And Roxanne is all yelling at Julia. And so Julia just basically says, screw you, and leaves. And ends up going to SmackDown to get signed. And then they showed clips here of Roxanne getting signed. So she has finally been called up to the main roster officially. Signed her Raw contract, and
yeah, and they're doing an angle with her with Judgment Day, which is actually pretty good. It gets her in the mix, gets her in there with Liv Morgan, shakes that up, gets Finn Balor in there. I mean, that was actually a really good segment because of all the different ways you can go with it.
We had Jey Uso running into Paul Heyman backstage, and Paul basically told him, you're going to fight Braun Breaker tonight. The title's on the line because Braun isn't looking for the title. He wants to slow your momentum. Because whether it's you, Logan, or Gunther, that's all short-term. The long-term plan is Seth Rollins.
It does seem like a long-term plan. It does feel like it, based on everything going on. I mean, Paul Heyman didn't switch to Seth Rollins for Seth Rollins to be second from the top.
Man, then we had Penta and AJ versus Finn and JD McDonough. This match was great. I mean, they had tremendous heat. The work was great. Baby faces, just twin dives there at the beginning, and then they got some heat on Penta for a while, and then AJ got the hot tag.
I thought the wrestling was real good in the match, but I think that one of the things on tonight's show, and I mean it's sort of the same. In a lot of WWE matches, and this being one of them, it's like you have a really good match, and then you have a really lame finish. And I mean, I get the reason for it, because they don't like to put the heels over clean, and for whatever reason, they decided to beat Penta in this match. But it was a nice long match, and it was really well done. But like at the end, it was just kind of like, I just thought that the finish
Well, there was a story to the finish, which is El Grande Americano came out, gave Penta the headbutt, and also was kind of tearing at his mask. And so it's clear that El Grande is doing a mask match with somebody. And it may just be...
It's probably Penta. It's got to be Penta.
Yeah, I mean,
there's nobody else to do it. I mean, it makes sense where they're probably going with it. But as far as like you're watching this great match, and then it ends with the loaded headbutt gimmick, and Finn Balor pins Penta clean with the coup de grace. It's kind of like I thought like the finish itself didn't have it lost all the momentum at the end because of that finish. But, again, based on where they're going, it's not like it doesn't make sense. But, as far as like I just thought, like, again, when the match was over, it's like this was a great match until the finish. Or till the last 2 minutes.
Have you grabbed your F4WOnline.com shirt yet? Well, we got a bunch of them. They're up in the store right now. F4WOnline.com/shirts. You can grab your -5 stars shirt, your Dave Meltzer Wrestling Observer shirts, even the brand new After Dark Radio shirt. You love Granny? We have Granny's Gang shirts. Have you ever won a shoot battle royal? Probably not, but you can tell people you did. So check out the store. All of these great shirts and more. It's through Pro Wrestling Tees. F4WOnline.com/shirts. That's F4WOnline.com/shirts.